Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. India, New Zealand, Australia, Japan, South Korea, China, Taiwan, Indonesia and Thailand welcome the new year with fireworks display. Worries mount in Eastern Europe as Russia-Ukraine gas transit deal ends on 31st December. The US says Chinese hackers stole documents in a cyber attack. Beijing rejects the accusation. And South Korea court issues warrant to arrest impeached President Yoon Suk-yeol. Along with the rest of the world, India bid farewell to 2024 and welcomed 2025. Tourists from around the globe flocked to Goa for the New Year's celebrations. The party atmosphere began after Christmas in North Goa's coastal areas, with visitors from various states and countries joining in. Many come for the sun, sea and sand, while others enjoy thrilling water sports such as parasailing and jet skiing, making Goa the perfect destination for both relaxation and adventure this new year. Gulmarg, located in Baramulla district of Jammu and Kashmir, attracted a large number of tourists amid its snow-capped peaks and serene landscapes. Known for its breathtaking views and abundant snowfall, it has become a top destination for everyone, especially around the new year. On the occasion of the new year, thousands of tourists thronged Manali, even as the weather department predicted clear but cold weather on 31st December and 1st January in Himachal Pradesh. And police had made additional security arrangements near the iconic Gateway of India in Mumbai for the New Year celebrations. People thronged Brigade Road in Bengaluru for New Year's celebrations, with around 800,000 people filling the streets of the city. To ensure safety, the government there and the police have implemented strict security measures. And celebrations are also taking place in Uttar Pradesh's capital, Lucknow. People celebrated New Year's in Thiruvananthapuram in Kerala as well, where city police had planned comprehensive security measures to ensure the safety of residents and visitors alike. So as the world prepares to ring in 2025, some countries have already welcomed the new year. Take a look at the celebrations around the globe. New Zealand was among the first to welcome 2025 with a stunning fireworks display from Auckland's Sky Tower as the clock struck midnight, becoming one of the first countries to welcome the new year.
From South Africa. As the new year approaches, the air
Australia greeted 2025 with the city of Sydney dazzling spectators at midnight. Fireworks lit up the skies over the iconic Opera House and Harbour Bridge, drawing a crowd of over 1 million people. Moving on, Padang in Indonesia, Sumatra welcomed the new year with a 300-meter-long procession of more than 70 children sitting on decorated wooden chairs shouldered by more than 600 men. The sipasan resembles a centipede with the head and tail of a dragon. The centuries-old Chinese tradition is still preserved today in the world's most populous Muslim-majority nation. Taiwan welcomed the new year with a stunning 6-minute fireworks show launched from its tallest building featuring the theme Team Taiwan Champion. The display, inspired by Taiwan's baseball team's victory at an international championship in November, symbolized the nation's strength and determination. The fireworks at the 508-meter tall building, a tradition since 2003, drew thousands of visitors from around the world. Hong Kong welcomed 2025 with a dramatic fireworks display over Victoria Harbour at midnight. The 12-minute spectacle, set to music, was themed the Symphony of Happiness, symbolizing wishes for prosperity. The show was designed by Liu Lin, known for his work on the 2008 Beijing Olympics' opening and closing ceremonies. Thailand rings in the new year with a countdown and fireworks display over the icon Siam department store by the Chao Phraya River.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year 2025.
With the launch of SPEX, the Indian Space Research Organization has made a giant leap for India's space missions in future. Tripti Tripathi reports from New Delhi.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
In a landmark achievement, the Indian Space Research Organization has successfully launched SPEX, the space docking experiment, marking a significant milestone for India's space program. With this, India becomes the 4th nation in the world to master autonomous spacecraft docking technology.
This is one of the first experiments undertaken by India as far as the docking technology is concerned. But I think what makes it special is that it is a purely indigenous technology. And that's why it's been appropriately named as Bharatiya docking technology. And that is very much in keeping with Prime Minister Modi's mantra of Atmanirbhar Bharat.
SPEX is a revolutionary technology demonstrator designed to test the intricate process of docking to small spacecraft in low Earth orbit. The critical capability represents a giant leap for India's future space missions, including the much-anticipated Gaganyaan human spaceflight program, the upcoming Chandrayaan-4 lunar mission, and the envisioned Indian space station.
The rocket has placed the satellites in the right orbit, which is 475 kilometers circular orbit. SPEX 2 satellites are moved. You would have seen in the animation that they moved little one behind the other. So over the period of time, for the days, it will pick up further distance, travel to almost a 20-kilometer distance away.
ISRO continues to lead India's space ambitions with groundbreaking achievements, from the historic Chandrayaan-3 landing on the moon's south pole to the Aditya L1 mission reaching the sun's halo orbit. ISRO has redefined space exploration. The successful launch of the INSAT 3DS weather satellite marked another milestone. Designed for a 10-year operational life, the satellite enhances India's capabilities in weather forecasting. India's premier space agency also launched PSLV's C-58 X-ray polarimeter satellite that made India the second nation to send an observatory to study astronomical sources such as black holes. Additionally, India's collaboration with the European Space Agency on the Proba 3 satellites has demonstrated the country's expertise in precision formation flying, pushing the boundaries of innovation and global partnerships.
Space missions are just a fraction of the cost of the counterpart missions sent by other agencies, though we are in a strict lead of just about 3 or 4 nations. Our application of space technology in different sectoral projects is much higher in scale compared to any other country, whether it's the health sector, it's the agriculture sector. So you name any sector, space technology in India has been applied almost in every sector of development and every infrastructure project.
As ISRO sets its sights on the future, it is charting a transformative decade for India's space exploration journey. India is on course to solidify its position as a self-reliant and globally competitive space power. Tripti Tripathi's report for DD India.
All right, now take a look at what else is making news around the world. At least 71 people have died in a road accident in Ethiopia, according to a spokesperson for the government of the country's southern region of Sidama. In a statement, its regional communication bureau said a truck packed with passengers plunged into a river some 300 kilometers south of Ethiopia's capital, Addis Ababa. A newly adopted law banned the use of fireworks in Denmark except on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. The new regulations aim to tighten control over sales and usage of fireworks. Fireworks cause distress among pets as well as animals in the zoo and also pose a threat to public safety amid warnings of a stormy weather. About a dozen nuns of Nepal's hilltop Druk Amitabha Monastery put on an amazing show of strength to hundreds of cheering well-wishers. The nuns performed to mark the institution's reopening 5 years after the COVID-19 pandemic forced it to close its doors to public. The stoppage of transit of gas through Ukraine at the end of a 5-year agreement between Russia and Ukraine is a pivotal moment for Europe, which has worked to cut its reliance on Russian energy since the start of the Ukraine-Russia conflict in 2022. While the immediate economic impact is minimal, its geopolitical consequences could exacerbate divisions within the European Union, testing the bloc's unity in its support for Ukraine. Jessica Taneja reports from New Delhi.
Gazprom's final scheduled delivery through Ukraine on Tuesday marks the end of a transit system that had persisted despite nearly 3 years of war. Once a cornerstone of Europe's energy infrastructure, the transit route has dwindled in importance, with Russia's share of EU gas supplies plummeting from 40% pre-war to just 8% in 2023. Alternative sources from the US, Qatar, and Norway have largely compensated for the shortfall. However, the cessation of Russian gas flows from Ukraine raises broader questions about the EU's cohesion. Countries like Hungary and Slovakia, which continue to rely on Russia gas via other routes such as the Turk Stream, are seen as undermining the EU's collective push to eliminate Russia's energy dependence. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has accused Slovakia of engaging in shadow agreements with Russia, highlighting tensions among neighboring states. Meanwhile, Slovakia's threats to cut power supplies to Ukraine have further strained relations. The European Commission has so far avoided direct involvement in brokering a new transit deal, instead emphasizing the bloc's success in diversifying its energy sources and maintaining high storage levels. Yet, This hands-off approach may leave room for discord to grow among member states. The economic implications of the halted transit are relatively limited compared to the geopolitical stakes. Gazprom will lose an estimated $5 billion in annual gas sales to Europe through Ukraine, while Kyiv will forfeit around $800 million in transit fees. These figures pale in comparison to the broader financial and strategic losses Russia has endured, including Gazprom's $7 billion loss in 2023, which was its first since 1999. For Ukraine, the end of the transit deal presents both risk and opportunity. Zelensky has signaled his unwillingness to allow Russian gas to transit through Ukrainian pipelines, emphasizing the importance of cutting financial flows that could fund Moscow's war efforts. However, halting transit could expose Ukraine's vast pipeline infrastructure to Russia's missile strikes, further jeopardizing the country's energy security during winter. For Europe, the Russian gas halt is unlikely to cause a repeat of the 2022 price spikes, given reduced reliance and sufficient reserves. But rising gas prices, which are now up 48% this year, continue to strain households and industries. As the region adjusts to the end of the Russia-Ukraine gas transit era, the challenge lies not only in maintaining energy stability, but also in preserving the unity that has defined Europe's response to Russian aggression. The cessation of transit flows may be a small step economically, but its impact on the EU's geopolitical cohesion could be profound. Jessica Taneja for DD India.
The conflict between Russia and Ukraine will complete 3 years in February 2025, but the fighting is still on. On Tuesday, a Ukraine drone attack sparked a fire at an oil depot in Russia's Smolensk region. For its part, Russia launched an aerial assault on Ukraine's capital, Kyiv. Russia's President Vladimir Putin told fellow citizens that the country would move forward with confidence in 2025. On New Year Eve, Russia and Ukraine swapped more than 300 prisoners of war in an exchange facilitated by the United Arab Emirates.
The conflict between Russia and Ukraine will complete 3 years in 2025. The military operation was started in 2022 and is still on. However, the difference is that the Ukrainian forces are no longer just on the defensive. They have adopted an offensive approach, striking inside Russian territory as well. On Tuesday, Ukrainian military naval drones destroyed a Russian helicopter and damaged another one in the Black Sea. In another incident, a Ukrainian drone attack caused a fuel spill and fire at an oil depot in Russia's western region of Smolensk. Meanwhile, Russia launched an aerial attack on Ukraine on Tuesday, targeting the capital Kiev and multiple other regions with a combination of missiles and drones. While addressing the country on New Year, President Putin said that the country would move forward with confidence in 2025. He said, and I quote, "On the threshold of the new year, we are thinking about the future. We are confident that everything will be fine. We will only move forward. We know for sure that the absolute value for us was, is, and will be the fate of Russia, the well-being of its citizens." Putin also paid tribute to Russian soldiers fighting in the war in Ukraine, describing them as true heroes. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un sent New Year greetings to Putin and vowed to solidify ties with Russia. Russia and Ukraine have conducted another prisoner swap brokered by the United Arab Emirates, freeing hundreds of prisoners of war. Russia and Ukraine have conducted dozens of such prisoner exchanges since 2022. Aman Kumar Humanshu's report, DD India.
The U.S. Treasury Department has suffered a major cyber attack, with U.S. lawmakers accusing Chinese state-sponsored hackers of stealing sensitive documents. The breach has heightened concerns over escalating cyber threats. However, Beijing has denied the allegations, calling them groundless and politically motivated.
The U.S. Treasury Department has been hit by a major cyber attack. The lawmakers alleging that Chinese state-sponsored hackers were behind the breach. The hackers reportedly stole sensitive documents, prompting concerns about escalating cyber threats. Beijing, however, has dismissed the accusations as politically motivated.
We have repeatedly stated our position on such groundless allegations which lack evidence.
China has always opposed all forms of hacker attacks, and we are even more opposed to spreading false information against China for political purposes.
The latest breach of the US Treasury Department's systems has once again turned the spotlight on Chinese state-sponsored cyber activity. In March 2024, the US Department of Justice indicted 7 hackers linked to the Chinese government for targeting critics of China, US businesses and politicians. In May 2024, Britain's Ministry of Defense fell victim to a Chinese cyber attack, which compromised sensitive data on its military personnel, excluding special forces. In February 2024, Chinese spies were found to have installed malware in a Dutch military network, an operation that began in 2023. Back in August 2023, Chinese hackers infiltrated the personal and political emails of a US congressman from Nebraska. In May 2023, Guam's US communications network was breached with hackers using legitimate credentials to evade detection. And in December 2022, hackers stole at least $20 million in COVID-19 relief funds from the US, including SBA loans and unemployment benefits. The latest Treasury Department breach adds to a long list of alleged cyber attacks attributed to Chinese state-backed actors. As tensions rise, the focus now shifts to strengthening global cybersecurity and holding perpetrators accountable. Amish Mahajan's report, DD India.
As South Korea mourns the 29 December plane crash and families of victims struggle to find closure, questions abound as to what really went wrong. The next report tells you more.
I can only accept it, make peace with it. No matter what I do, my daughter won't come back. I just hope to bring her body home for a proper ceremony.
This 77-year-old father has nothing to lose today. His daughter was one amongst the victims who lost her life in the crash. And he is not alone. Many are still waiting for the body of their loved ones to perform the last rites. The entire South Korea is in mourning as investigations intensify into the crash of Jeju Air flight at Muan International Airport, which claimed at least 179 lives. The plane belly landed before skidding into an embankment and bursting into a ball of flames. The crash occurred as the plane attempted an emergency landing after reportedly suffering a bird strike. Authorities say the embankment, which was criticized in a 2024 airport safety manual, has contributed to the devastation. Experts are focusing on why the aircraft's landing gear failed and why the plane was traveling so fast upon approach.
The flight data recorder has lost a key connector. We are conducting technical reviews to retrieve critical data.
The tragedy has sparked questions about the airport's design and the maintenance of South Korean Airlines' 737-800 fleet. Emergency inspections of all 101 such aircraft are underway, with findings expected in early January.
It really has to be a series of catastrophic events that lead to such a high loss of life. This kind of catastrophe to happen, a lot of things it is incredibly unusual.
The aftermath is no less harrowing. Bereaved families wait at the airport to claim their loved ones' remains, while investigators work with rapid DNA analysis to identify bodies. Muan Airport remains closed, with the nation cancelling New Year celebrations as a mark of respect. Meanwhile, Jeju Air has issued an apology, pledging support to the victims' families as the world extends condolences. Acting President has ordered comprehensive safety reviews of South Korea's airline operations in an attempt to restore public confidence. While the investigation seeks answers, the crash has left a scar on the nation and the aviation industry. As families grieve, the focus now shifts to uncovering what really went wrong to ensure such a tragedy never happens again. Bureau Report, DD India.
And that's all for this edition of DD India Live. For those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and around the world on the DD India mobile app. It's available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran from the entire team here at DD India. We wish you all a very happy new year. Hope 2025 turns out to be the best year yet for all of you. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.